Alright, welcome to Frank Teaches DevOps, my lovely viewers, great guys. So in today's video, I will be talking about AI services. Alright, AI services, AWS AI services, but not in detail. I'm just concerned about a particular service. Alright, in today's video, in particular service, alright, in AWS AI services, right? But before I dive into talking about that particular service, right? Let me talk about very briefly, because this one video that I've promised that that I'm going to make. The video is AWS machine learning stack. Machine learning stack. So I will take us on a journey, on a very exciting journey of enlisting the entire services, all right, the entire machine learning services that are being offered by AWS. All right, so it's going to be very exciting, guys, but that video is not today. Today's video is a different video that I want to walk us through, right? Maybe in my next video I will talk about machine learning stack on AWS, all right, so that if you have plans of trying out machine learning, right, you will already know about those services that you can use within AWS. Now, before I go into that top level, the machine learning stack on AWS is divided into three sections. All right, into three sections. Now, the first on the list is AI services. AI services. Right? Now, this AI services has a lot of services. Examples of the services that are being offered. All right, let me just put one or two, because today, like I said, is not a day to talk much about machine learning stack. So one of those services I want to say is Amazon SageMaker. This comes under machine learning service. Sorry, this comes under machine learning. Let's say Amazon recognition. All right, so we have Amazon recognition, and we also have, let me do a bullet recognition. We have AWS translate. We have AWS comprehend, and a whole lot. Like I said, I'm keeping it simple. I don't want to digress from today's topic, right? Now, we also have in that same stack, we have machine learning services. Let me copy this. Let me copy all of these, copy and paste. So in there, we have ML services. So in the ML services, we have things like AWS SageMaker, all right, and a whole lot. I'm just keeping it top level, guys. top level. Then finally, we then have framework. It does on the list. Copy and paste. Now framework and infrastructure. Framework and infrastructure. Right? So framework and infrastructure. So this is the machine learning stack on AWS at a top level. All right? Like I said, in my next video, I'm going to take my time to talk about this machine learning stack on AWS, so that you will truly appreciate, all right, machine learning and their operations within AWS cloud. All right? So like I said, today's video is not about machine learning stack. Today's video is about AI services, and in AI services there's a particular service which is called AI comprehend. Right? AI comprehend. So I'll be talking extensively and performing some level of what demo, all right, on how to use AI, how to use Amazon comprehend alongside with other Amazon data engineering services. All right, so guys, just sit back and follow me in this journey. All right, so what is Amazon comprehend? So Amazon comprehend is one of Amazon AI services. Right now, Amazon comprehend is a natural language processing service, NLP. You may have heard of NLP. Right? NLP is a machine learning terminology. Right? Great. But Amazon comprehend has the tendency of processing natural languages. Natural languages are languages that are close to human language. And machine language, let's start with comprehend. What is Amazon comprehend? AWS comprehend. So AWS comprehend is a natural language processing service. It's a natural language processing service. All right. Now, what is, let me NLP. Now, what is NLP? So NLP is a machine learning service that mimic the human language. It is a machine learning service that mimic the human natural language. That is, it understands the human language. All right, is so intelligent that it understands the human language. That's why it is referred to as natural language processing. That's why that name is NLP, natural language processing. And to add to that, AWS comprehend is used, this is the uses, is used to discover insights, relationships, right, within text or within documents. It's used to discover insights, relationships within text, right, phrases, and all documents. All right, so this is what comprehend does. And how to use comprehend, you don't need to be a machine learning expert. You don't need to be a machine learning expert to start using Amazon Comprehend. All right. Now, one of the good thing with these cloud-based AI services is that you don't need much of any code writing. You don't need any much of code writing to use them, right? Because everything in between has been done for you. All you need to do is you input your text, and the inference is already performed for you by the cloud provider. All right, the inference is already performed, the computation are already taken care of by the cloud provider. Then what you just see is the output. Now this is a flow. Now you have an input, you have input. All right, now in between here, let me use something like this. Let me rotate. All right, so in between here, what goes in here, your input goes in there. Then inside of here we have computation. Can call computation, can refer it to as inference, right? So this goes into here. All right, now you now get your output. You don't need to be an expert, guys, to use these tools. This is your output, as simple as ABC. All right, as simple as ABC. Okay, so this is the advantage of using cloud-based machine learning services. All right, cloud-based machine learning services. Now, to add on the capability, I wouldn't want to say capability, I'm coming to the capability of Comprehend, but what Comprehend does, all right, so, and how it works, it uses deep learning to accurately analyze text, phrases, documents, to accurately analyze text, phrases, etc. Now, if you've not watched my first video on deep learning, on machine learning and machine learning operations introduction, you have to go and watch that video. I think I have that video here on my YouTube channel. Let's check quickly. I have a video on my YouTube channel. Come to my YouTube channel, view channel. So I have should I have here? Let me check, guys. Let me check. MLOps. Now, if you've not watched this video, you have to go and rush it, guys. Right? So on this video, I have really broken down a whole lot of concepts, a whole lot of confusing parts around machine learning operations, and DevOps. All right, so in that video I've done justice. So you need to go and watch that video. On that video I talk about what deep learning. So deep learning is a subset of machine learning. All right, but we're not going to talk about that in this video. We are concerned about Amazon Comprehend. Now the next phase will be capabilities of what Amazon Comprehend. What Comprehend is capable of doing. Capabilities of AWS Comprehend. All right, capabilities of AWS Comprehend. Now it has a tendency to recognize entities. All right, let me put it like this. Entity recognition. Comprehend has the tendency, all right, to uniquely identify identify real world objects. So real world objects, all right, are termed as entities. Examples of such objects could be maybe a person's name, all right, places. A person's name could be Frank, could be John, right? Examples of entity recognition. Example could be person's name, places, name of places, name of places, name of a product, name of a product, all right, an item, a date, etc., etc. So these are the examples of what, of entities that comprehend can easily detect, right? Now comprehend also has capability of extracting key phrases, key phrase extraction. This service has the capability of extracting key phrases, all right, from a set of texts, right? Text, documents, etc. Key phrases could be a noun, a pronoun. Key phrases that you use within, that is being used within the document, all right? Noun, example, noun, a verb, pronoun, all right, etc. Okay, I, am. These are key phrases, all right? I, am, they, them, right? So Amazon comprehend has the capability of extracting such phrases. Now the next on the list is, next capability is language detection. So it has the ability, it has the ability to detect the language which the document has been written in, right? Example, maybe your document you want to analyze has been written in a certain language. It could be English, it could be Hindi, it could be Spanish, it could be Portuguese. I hope I get that spelling correctly. Portuguese. It could be Russian, etc., etc. It could be any language, and it has the ability to detect the language being used in the document. Now, in addition to that, there's what we call PII. PII stands for personal identifiable information. All right, my people, comprehend has the tendency to detect when there are elements or traces of personal identifiable information within a document. Example of such PII are your name, your bank account number, bank account, credit or debit card number, or bracket details. All right. So these are forms of etc. These are forms of personal identifiable information. All right. Now to add to that, comprehend also has the tendency to perform sentiment analysis. Now, what is sentiment analysis? Sentiment analysis are analysis that are being performed on maybe customers review. Maybe you have a product you are selling, all right, and as part of innovation, all right, as part of making the product compete with other alternative products out there in the market, right, you have to put up a kind of a review channel where customers or users of the product will go there to either give their reviews on your products. It's either it could be a positive review, it could be a negative review, it could be a mixed review, all right, and at the same time it could be I don't know, neutral, all right, a neutral review, right? Now, comprehend has the ability to detect the emotions that are being put out by these customers on your product, right? It senses the emotions. Is it a good emotion? Is it a bad emotion? Is it a not too good, not too bad emotion? Is it, so that is what sentiment analysis is all about, right? So comprehend detects emotional sentiments in a given sentence or statement. All right, yeah, sentence in a statement. So these emotions could be these emotions, this emotional sentiments could be positive, negative, mixed, or neutral. You're neither there or there, right? So these are all the capabilities of what Amazon Comprehend can do. All right, great, guys. So I think we are very close to demonstration, right? But before we go into demonstration, let's now give us a use case. Where is these are the use cases, all right? The capabilities are more like the use cases, all right? Because one, I could use comprehend to recognize entities, recognize entities within a text of block, all right? Within a block text, within a document, I could recognize name, place, product, dates, the way they are being used, right? I could recognize key phrases. I could also recognize I could detect languages being used in a document, right? So I could also detect personal identifiable information, and I could detect customers' emotions, sentimental emotions within a document, right? So these are the use cases, all right, of Amazon Comprehend, right? So without further ado, guys, let's dive into the demo, all right? But before we dive into demo, there's something I will show us when we open the Amazon Comprehend, all right? So let's dive into the demo, all right? Hands-on lab. Let me label this demo. All right, great guys. So this is what we have been all waiting for, demo, right? Now, before I perform this demo, let me sketch my architecture, all right? My architecture and services are going to be using alongside with what Amazon Comprehend, right? So my architecture, I will have an S3, right? So let me list what I need here. Let me list what I need here. Sorry. I need an S3 bucket, right? I will also need comprehend will be there. Comprehend will be there. In this, I will need AWS glue crawler. All right. Sorry guys. I might not be able to do justice on glue crawler. Justice in the sense that this video, all right. I might not talk. I might not. Since this is your first time of hearing about glue crawler, or glue, sorry, AWS glue, all right. I am not teach. That's what I mean. I'm not going in depth of AWS glue and other functionalities that AWS glue is capable of doing, right? I'll just top level, all right, in the context of comprehend how glue could be used to make analysis on comprehend, to support analysis on comprehend possible, all right, to make comprehend, to support comprehend, to analyze its task, all right, to make it possible so right. So I wouldn't want to go in depth of AWS glue. Maybe in my next video, right? Not really in my next video, but I have the intention of springing up a workshop, all right, a hands-on workshop on data engineering, right? So in that workshop, I will be talking about a lot of just few AWS data engineering services, right? Data engineering services. In there, we'll talk about AWS Kinesis service, right? Kinesis service. So in AWS Kinesis service, there are 4 services. We have data stream, that's Kinesis data stream. We have Kinesis firehose. We have Kinesis video stream. Then we have Kinesis data analytics, all right, analysis. Then we shall also look at AWS glue service. So this AWS glue service is used for performing ETL, all right, extract, transform, and load, while the Kinesis services, data streaming, is for streaming of data. Firehose is moving of data into different data storage, data warehouses, all right. Then video stream, also analyzing video streaming in real time, and data analytics is for visualization. So I'm going to have a workshop. Let me put it like this. Though this workshop is a free workshop, all right. So this workshop is just for me to announce my entrance into data engineering and machine learning. Okay, it's gonna be free, right? In this workshop, that's where I'll really do justice. I'll do justice on what AWS glue crawler. So just keep an eye on my channel. Keep an eye on my channel, both LinkedIn and YouTube, right? All right, to know when this product, all right, this video will be announced. This workshop will be announced. Sorry guys, this workshop will be announced. But for today's video, I'm just going to talk about glue top level, all right, top level. Now we shall also look at AWS Glue catalog, right? Then we shall integrate Athena, right? Athena is AWS service for SQL, for querying, all right? For SQL, for using SQL, you can use Athena to query anything under this planet, right? Anything under this planet. Then finally, all right, SQL query service, AWS SQL service. SQL is just a language, structured query language. It's a language, not a DB. All right. So now finally we now have QuickSight. Now QuickSight, AWS QuickSight is an alternate product. It's a competing product to Power BI, right? It's a competing product to what? To Power BI. So QuickSight enables you to visualize, right? Visualize your data, to analyze your data, right? Using visual concepts. Could be pie charts, different charts, all right? There are a lot of charts within QuickSight, all right? So great, guys. So this architecture is going to contain all of these: an S3 bucket, comprehend, AWS Glue, AWS catalog and crawler, and Athena, and finally AWS QuickSight. So without further ado, let's now craft out the architecture. So I'll go to Google. I want to use live what's it called? Live icons. AWS comprehend images. I want to use live icons. Yeah, let me use, I think sometimes you see it like this, and I see it like this, right? So either one will work. So let me open this. Let me pick this icon, copy. All right. Okay, all right, guys. So I've been able to crawl these icons from Google. All right, from Google. So let's do the finishing. Let's do the finishing. No fill line, this dotted line, could just give it that. Great. So now here is the flow. Here's the flow. On top of this there is glue. All right, now here is this comprehend, this S3 bucket. So this is what happens. First, I'm going to upload my data sets. All right, I'll upload my data sets from my base machine to the S3. All right, to the S3 bucket. Now after uploading the bucket, my data in S3, right? The next phase will be now glue is going to, all right, with that content, right? I'll send glue is going to pick that content from S3 into glue for analysis. All right, for analysis. After comprehend, S3 is going to move the data, or I would say comprehend is going to move the data from S3 into comprehend for analysis. So once that has been done, because on comprehend we're going to create an analysis job. All right, so the analysis job will pull the data from S3 into what? Comprehend. Right, now once the job has been analyzed, then comprehend will send back, what? The analyzed results to S3. Now once that has been done, we're now going to go to what? To glue. We go to what? We go to glue, AWS glue, to create a crawler. Now this crawler is going to speak, is going to set S3 as its data source. All right, so you're going to see everything. So I'm just showing us the flow. So crawler is going to what? Collect the analyzed data from S3 into Glue, all right, and it's going to crawl the entire content. Now, what crawler will do is crawler is going to arrange the data sets in their respective columns, all right, in the appropriate columns, all right. So this is what will happen within AWS Glue. So this is the Glue, right? Glue has this component. It has a crawler component. It also have what? A data catalog component. So once this data has been crawled, now control, it will now forward this data into what? The catalog for storage. It will store that data in what? AWS Glue catalog for storage. So that data will be there until another service called what? Athena. Athena will now pull this data for further analysis, for further querying. All right. So you have the data with you, and you still need to work on the data using what? SQL statements, right? SQL statement. Then after you have cleansed the data, right? You've cleansed the data with appropriate SQL statements. All right. You can now save it in the table. Athena has all of that feature. And you're going to say what you're going to do. All right. Save all of that, and the last and final step will be QuickSight. So I will now go on QuickSight. All right. Set my data source as AWS Glue catalog. Right. Pull the data from catalog. Once the data is pulled from catalog, right, what Athena does here is it writes back. It does a write back. It does a write back to what? The AWS catalog, right? First, the data is pulled into Athena, all right? Athena analyzes the data, cleans the data further, all right, using SQL statements. Then once that is done, that data is automatically saved back in what? In your Glue catalog, right? So from your Glue catalog, you'll be getting the data for analysis on what? On your QuickSight. So guys, this is the workflow. This is the workflow of what we are going to achieve using what? AWS Comprehend. So right, so in this process, we want to analyze a set of reviews, customer reviews on our products. I think I should put that. So we want to analyze analysis of customers reviews on our product. All right. So our product has got a lot of reviews. So we want to analyze these reviews based on sentiments. Based on sentiment. Is the sentiment positive? Is the sentiment negative? Is it a mixed sentiment, or is it neutral sentiment? So we want to look at the customer's emotion using what? Amazon Comprehend service. Without further ado, let's get started. But before that, let's go to a website where we can get our data set. All right, a data set of customers review. So I'll come to my Google here. I'll say there's a website called kaggle.com. So on this website, all right, let me remove this. Let me start all over so that you see what I did to make sense to you, so you appreciate it and how to search for data sets. So this site, kaggle.com, has a whole lot of any data set you're looking for. Is it list of footballers? Is it list of this? Is it list of that? Data sets you can work with any day, anytime. All right, just come to kaggle.com, then come in this space and search. You can say customer review, and hit enter. So customer review, you see a lot of customer, what's it called, other users that have uploaded this data, all right, on kaggle.com, right? So I went with this guy, comprehensive customer reviews database, a detailed insight. So click on it to open it. Once you open it, and so these are the what this review contains. All right, so this data contains this number of menus. Right, let's check now. Let's click on the database itself, the data set. Click on this guy. So once you click there, it will take you to another page, which is online product reviews analysis, customer feedback. Right, customer feedback. Then you click on what? A download. There's always a download button. Now in this data set, these are the key features. Right, it has this following columns. Okay, overall rating, summary, review text, helpful, reviewer name, ASIN, right, his number, Amazon standard identification number, reviewer ID, etc, etc. So that's what it contains. All right, so great. So I've already downloaded these what's it called, these data sets. Right, I have it in my local. So let's check my local. Let's check downloads. Right, so my download, I have it here. So what I will do, I'll just decompress it. I'm going to decompress. So I have it now, Amazon review. So let's check the content of this file, Amazon review. I double click. So it's a CSV file, right? So this is it. This is the ASIN number, Amazon serial identification number, reviewer name, was it helpful, review text. So that's the different columns, overall and summary, review time, day of, etc, etc. So this is what we want to analyze. All right, we want to analyze this whole thing, right? And this whole thing based on sentiments. So these are the reviews. There was no issues. Purchase this for my device. It worked as advertised. It works as expected. This thing has worked out great. So a lot of reviews are here. The name of itself speaks out. Go Sandys, go. All right, so great guys. So this is what we would be analyzing. So first thing first, I'll bring up my AWS account. My AWS account is somewhere here. No. Oh, sorry. All right, so now I'm going to go to my AWS. So let me create a bucket. So click on create a bucket. So all right, so let me give it a name. Let me call it sentiment input, right? Sentiment input BKT. All right, then I'm opening this bucket for public access. I understand the risk. All right, then click on create. But in production, you won't be doing all of these, right? You just use policy. You use policy to give access to the bucket. All right, so that's the sentiment bucket. All right, great. Now we've created this bucket. So now I will after there duplicate. I will now go to AWS comprehend to create an analysis job. So let's go to comprehend. So I'll come to my search bar and type comprehend, AWS comprehend. Let's go there. So now comprehend, this is what we have. Now let's look at how it works. There are 3 steps. The first step is you need to extract insights. All right, there are social media posts. All right, these are data from your customers. Could be about your product. All right, it could be a post, could be emails, could be from web pages, it could be from documents. Right, it could be a phone transcripts and medical records which you want to analyze. Right, then after that you push those data are moved into into Amazon comprehend, where Amazon comprehend now automatically extracts key phrases, entities, sentiments, language, syntax, topics, and document classification. So once that has been done, it will now use other tool sets like Athena, all right, or the case may be at this stage now the insight has been extracted. All right, then you now see the confidence score. All right, great. So this is how it works. So now let's go up. Let's click on launch Amazon comprehend. Now once I launch Amazon comprehend, there are 2 links. We have real-time analysis and manual analysis. Now we won't, for now I will just walk you through real-time analysis. All right, then I can also, we can now look at the manual analysis. So in the real-time analysis, right? So this is analyze text in real time. As they come, you are analyzing them. Okay, great. So now let's look at now input data. This is what's this is a sample. Let me just explain the sample so you understand what Comprehend is actually doing. Now the analysis type could be built-in or custom, right? So custom is where you select your type of classification, your model type, and the endpoints, all of that. But let's look at built-in, what Comprehend has for us already. So Comprehend has a demo text, which is this: hello Zingwei, I am John, your any company in financial services, LLC, credit card, this. So you can see this text already has a lot of elements. It has PII is here, key phrases are here, I am, entity is here, John, Zane, name of company. Let's go on now you've imputed this text. Now these are the insights. We have entities, key phrases, language use, PII, sentiment, targeted sentiment, and syntaxes. Now let's analyze it now based on sentiment. Sorry, based on entities. On entities now, here are the results. These are the different entities in that document. Zingwei is a person. John is a person. Financial services is an organization. This is classified as others because this is a credit card number. So that's why it is classifying it as others, because it is not in this category of what, of entity. It is in the category of what, PII. Right? That's why it classifies it as what, as others. And on this column you have what, you have the confidence score. So the confidence score determines how accurate that information is. That is the confidence score. All right. So great. Now, so let's look at key phrases. In key phrases, we have things like they are all key phrases, but their confidence score could be high, could be low. All right, depending on the situation. The language used is English. In this document is English. If I convert this thing now, it will detect the language. Let's try it and see. Come back to here. Copy. Come back to your input text. Copy this guy. Copy this text. Copy. I go to Google Translate. Let me translate from let me use Igbo, English to Igbo. All right, Igbo is Nigerian local language, so let me paste. This is English and this is in Igbo. All right, so let me copy all of this. Let's see if Comprehend will be able to detect this language. Copy. Now let's go to real-time analysis. Let me paste that content here. I've pasted Igbo. This is Igbo language, a Nigerian language. Now let's look at the language used. Let's check. Let's look at the results. Alright, why is not analyzing? It's still analyzing in English. The analyze. Okay, I need to analyze. So once click on analyze. So once you've pasted, click on what, analyze. So the moment I click on analyze, so Comprehend is going to go. But now I think so yeah, I think the Amazon has not put this in their database. It's looking at is the language is looking at Vietnamese, all right, with a confidence score of 39%. All right, it's saying that this language is Vietnam, is a Vietnamese language, and this is actually Igbo. All right, let me look at a more common language like Spanish. All right, let's convert that into Spanish. Okay, let's convert that text to Spanish. The same text now. All right, English to Spanish. This is Spanish now, right? So let me copy. I've copied. Come to your Comprehend. Let's paste it and let's analyze. All right, so this is Spanish. Let's see if Spanish will be detected. All right, so Spanish is detected and the confidence score is what, 99. Is very sure. 99.99% is very what, sure that this is what Spanish. Now the reason why we have that challenge is that the language is not in the database of Comprehend. All right, Comprehend, what AWS has done, they've not included, they've left out a lot of languages, right? a lot of local languages, but I think those major languages in major countries should have been included, right? Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba. Let me check Yoruba, if Yoruba is here. Let's check Yoruba. Okay, let's check if comprehend will be able to detect this Yoruba language. Let's come back here, paste, and let's analyze. You can see the confidence score is 98%. So Yoruba is a Nigerian language, which is, I think, is included in database. All right, in database of comprehend. So it's actually detecting the language, right? The language used is what is Yoruba. Makes sense, guys. All right, so let's change it back to English. Let's change it back to English, what we originally had. All right, changing back to English, paste and analyze. So it's back to what English with a confidence score of what 99. So this is it, guys. PII, you're going to see some personal identifiable information in the text, and yeah, so this sentiment, you're going to see sentiment based on this score: neutral, positive, negative, and mixed. All right, so great, guys. So without further ado, this was real-time analysis using comprehend in real time. All right, now let's look at how to use comprehend for this architecture that we have here. Close this. For this setup that we have here. All right, great. So now comprehend, let's go, guys. Where's that page? Now I'm going to create an analysis job. All right, so click on create job. Let's give it a name. Let me call it customer review job. All right, customer review job. The analysis type is, you can see there are different analysis type: entity recognition, events, key phrase, primary language, PII, sentiment. It's what I'm doing now is a sentiment analysis of emotion. Now the type of language in that document, you can see there are lots of different languages here. All right, these are common languages. Okay, so it's English. All right, great. Now the input data, which is this first part, the input data. All right, so I've created an S3 bucket, but the S3 bucket does not have the data yet. Okay, so what I will do, I'll go and upload the data that I downloaded from Cargo. All right, the customer review I downloaded from Cargo. I'll upload it to S3 so that comprehend will pick it up from there. All right, so let's go there. So I'll go to my S3 bucket. All right, I'll open my sentiment input bucket, and I'll create a folder. Let's create a folder. Let's call this folder input. All right, should we? Or let's just call it food, or I could just say bam 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 bam. All right, without creating any folder. You can create folder, you cannot create folder, it's optional. Let's just go straight to upload that file. All right, let's go click on upload and add a file. Then this is the file that will decompress. Click on open. All right, scroll and click on upload. So now we've uploaded this data. It's coming up. Good, succeeded. Click on close. We've uploaded this data, our data set, to our bucket, sentiment input bucket. Now I'll go to comprehend. Now I'll go and select that file on my S3. This is the bucket. Then here is the file. Click on choose. Great. Now input format is optional. That's a file. Now the output data, because whenever the moment comprehend is done analyzing the data, it will send back this data to the S3 bucket. But let's use a separate S3 bucket that will hold the result. All right, that's going to hold the result. So for that, I'll go back to S3 and I'll create another bucket. I'll create a new bucket. I'll call this bucket sentiment output BKT. All right, all access. Like I said, in production, don't do this, rather use policies. All right, use policies. So I've created this bucket, the output bucket. So in this bucket, let's create a folder. Let's create a folder called what? Output, and click on what? Create folder. Created. Great. Now let's go to our comprehend to select that bucket. So browse, the bucket is output bucket, then select the folder, click on choose, and yeah, so here it is. Now access permission. Now you need to give comprehend permission to what? To read and write from the bucket, to read and write into the bucket, several buckets. Now we have to use an existing row, but let's create a new row. All right, let's create a new row for this purpose, and let's prefix that row with a name. You can say send dash row. All right, send dash row, and click on create job. So the moment you click on create job, you now see this part say propagating IAM row. Please remain on this page. So it's trying to what? Propagate the row, to create the row and to propagate the row so that comprehend will be able to use that row to read and write into these buckets. Let's just wait. This process takes around 5 minutes. All right, from when this role is being propagated to this stage. All right, so now let's wait for some time. The status will move from what? Submitted into in progress, then from in progress it will now move into what? Completed. All right, so I'll be pausing this video because of the time it takes. So once it's in progress, I will come back to show us. Pause. Okay, you can see the progress has moved from submitted to what? In progress. So in this in this state, it takes some time to be in this state. So I'll pause it, and once it leaves this state, it will move towards completed. Now I'll be right back. So the analysis is still taking some time, all right, because like I said, it takes some time. All right, so it's still in progress. So I'll still pause it. So once it's done, we'll be right back. All right, guys, so you can see the job is now completed. It took almost like from 909 when this job was submitted to 9:17, about 8 minutes thereabout it took to get towards completed. So this job has been completed, and this job has now been moved back to Amazon S3. Now let's start with our diagram. So now we submitted this job from S3 into comprehend. Comprehend analyzes the job and push the job back towards the output bucket. Let's go and check the output bucket. Let's see what's in the output bucket. Let's go to S3. So this output, right? Click on output. You can see these are all the sentiments, and that is under somewhere. Fresh buckets, outputs, this folder. All right, that folder, outputs. Then there's the output. I have something output. Let me delete what I have there already so that it doesn't conflict. In my download, I have outputs. Yes, let me remove these guys. Move to trash. All right, great. Okay, great. So now let's download this tar file. So I'll click on download. All right, download. So download. All right, so I'm downloading to what? To my downloads folder. Save. All right, so for simplicity, I'll using my terminal to decompress the file. All right, using the terminal to decompress the file. So this is what I will do. I will say tar-xvzf. All right, now the file name is output. Now let me explain. X is to extract, V is verbose, Z because there is a compressed extension. All right, it could be either zip, gzip, bzip2, any of the compression. I'm going to use this flag Z. then followed by the file to specify the file name. All right, so tar xv zf, then the file name. So this will just take me direct straight. This file has been extracted. Now let's check downloads. So I have what? The output. So this is a file. So let's open this file and look at the content. I could open this file still from the terminal. Let me use my Vim to open the file. Vim output. All right, so now this is the content of the file. This is the content. You can see okay, let me just use Excel so that it will make sense. So right click on the file and open with I'm not having anything here, so let me just double click this guy. Great. So now here's the content. It's opening it in a file. I want it to open in let me see if I can modify the extension. Copy this guy .csv. all right, so now I have a CSV format for this. So you can see we have CSV. So double click to open it in CSV. Now great. Now let's talk about these outputs. You can see this column is the name of the file. This column is a Word file which identifies the name of the file. The name of the file is Amazon review.csv. all right, and on line 5, this line 5, on line 5 there was a review, and the review, all right, the sentiment was positive. It was a positive review. All right, now on this other side is the sentiment score. Okay, and the sentiment score, all right, comprehend predicted, all right, that the sentence or the statements that the customer made on line 5 will be what? A mixed statement. A mixed statement with a confidence score or a sentiment score of 0.18. all right, great. And yeah, and a negative of 0.28 and a neutral of these, positive of these, but the total review was what? Was positive. It was a positive review. Let's see where we have a negative review. These are places that will have a negative review. So I think this is going to give us a very nice chart. All right, so guys, so this is the output of what Comprehend was able to analyze. So let's close it. I'm not going to save this. Delete. All right, great. So now we are done with this whole section. The next section now is we will now go towards AWS Glue to create a crawler job that is going to crawl the result, the output, all right, the output from this guy into this place. All right, so what we'll do is I'll need to upload the output. Let's go and upload the output. Should I? Now let me just go to Glue and see what happens. So I'll duplicate this page, duplicate. If it requires that, I will do that. So I'll go AWS Glue. I'll type AWS Glue, open Glue. All right, now this is my Glue. On my left hand side, I'll see what? Crawlers. So click on crawlers. So there are no crawlers. I'll create a crawler. I'll give it a name. Let me call it sentiment crawler job. Click on next. Now it's asking, is your data already mapped to Glue tables? No, it's not mapped to Glue tables. So now specify my data source, the source of my data. All right, so you remember the output was compressed. So now download the output, decompress it. So we need to upload the output again back to that table. So this is what I will do. I'll go back to AWS. All right, so under the output bucket, I'll create a folder. Let me create a folder called results. I'll call it results. All right, results, and create folder. Now in this folder, I'm going to upload the file. Add the file. That file was this. All right. So the file is output.csv. All right. So I'll click on open. All right. Then I'll upload. So I've uploaded the file to the same bucket, to the output bucket, right? But in a different folder. Let's close it. Now let's come back to what? AWS Glue. Let's add our data source. Our data source is what? Is S3. As you can see from this architecture, our data source is coming from what? AWS S3. So let's go there. So add your data source. Data source is S3. Then the path to the bucket, to the objects. Click here, and its output is results. All right. The path to that file is result. Click on choose. Okay. Let's click the file itself. Go here, and the file. So this is the file. Click on choose. All right. I think we are good. All right. Great. Now click on add an S3 data source, which we've added. So that's it. It has been added, right? Now the next, we click on next. The next one is what? To create an IAM role. So an IAM role will be used to be used by Glue to talk to what? The S3 bucket. So I'll be creating a new role. Click on new role. Give it a name. Let's call it customer dash review. That's the role name. Create. So this role has been created. Customer review has been created. So the next, we click on what? Next. All right. Click on next. Now it's asking for a database where everything will be stored. So let's quickly create a database because we don't have any database. All right. Add the database. It will take me to a new page. I'll create a name. I'll call it sentiment customer review DB. All right. Review DB. I click on create database. This DB has been created. Now let's come back to Glue. Let's refresh. If I refresh, it will populate the DB. Can you see DB that's been populated? Now table name is optional because crawler will automatically create the table. So just click on next. Then we are all done, guys. Click on create crawler. So this is a crawling job. All right. So the crawler is now ready. It's now in a ready state. You can see the crawler was created, but now we need to run the crawler so that it will crawl the data from S3 and populate the database with a table. All right. So let's click on what? Run crawler. The next step is what? Run crawler. So we are running this crawler. So you can see the job has been started. All right. The status is in a running state. So it takes there about 2-3 minutes, but it's better I pause the video, and once it's done, we'll be right back. Okay, it's still crawling. I just want to point out some few things. Now on table changes, it will show you one the moment it successfully creates the table, right? At this column here, table changes, you're going to see one. So the moment you see one, it tells you that crawler has successfully created the table on the data catalog. So now crawler will create the table. It's going to create the table, create the data, everything, and move that into what? And store it in the Glue catalog. So all of this data will be stored on the AWS Glue catalog. It is from this catalog that Athena will now pick the data, analyze the data, and send it back to the catalog, where QuickSight will now move the data, right? So let me just add a Athena curve. Right now, you can see now. So QuickSight will pick this data from here as its data source. Use it here to analyze the whole data. So let's check the job. Let's check the job. Let's check. It's still running. Now it's completed. Right? It's completed, and one table was created. A table was what? Created. Great. So now let's go to the catalog, databases. So you can see the database. In this database, if I click on it, I'm going to see the table. So this is the table name. Output_CSV is the table name. So if I click on the table name, I'm going to see the schema. All right, so this is what Comprehend did. So this is the schema that Comprehend arranged for us. They arranged it in file, different columns, line, sentiment, and sentiment score. All right, so we are done here, man. We are done with what? AWS Glue. So at this juncture, we will now move into what? Athena. So from our diagram, we are done with what? Glue. Our data is now stored in what? The data, the Glue data catalog. The next step now, we'll go to what? Glue. All right, so we'll go to Athena. So I'll open this new tab. I'll go to the service search. I'll say Athena. So on Athena, all right, so we're going to create, let me remove some of these things. Remove these things, close query. All right, great. So now I will select my data source, data. All right, let me remove some of these things, guys. Delete data. It's already there for me, it has automatically just came there. You can see, but let me the thing is there. So my data source is AWS data catalog. All right, that's my data source. Then the database within that data source is sentiment customer review DB. This is Athena. You can see it has automatically picked that content. Now the table is the output underscore CSV table. You can see the schema of the table. All right, so great. So let's just run a quick table preview. All right, a quick query on this table. So preview this guy. So you can see, select asterisk from this table name. All right, followed by what? This database, followed by the table name, and limit the record to just 10 records. I just need 10 records. That's the meaning of limit. So let's see the output. Completed. Supposed to display here. Query results. Have I run it? I've not run it. No. So highlight it. Click on what? Run. It's supposed to show me something now. It's supposed to show me something. It's supposed to show. Let me remove limits. Why am I getting this? Run. It's writing to somewhere. Where? But I'm supposed to get something. Sorry guys, one sec. Okay, alright guys, so I think there's a little mistake somewhere, because the table is empty, right? The table is actually empty. So let's rerun a crawler job. Let's go back to create a crawler job. All right, so for that I will delete crawler. This I should delete this guy, delete crawler. All right, delete crawler, delete crawler, delete crawler. Go to databases and delete the database that we created. Delete. All right, so let's recreate everything. All right, delete table, delete. All right, it's gone. Crawlers, create a new crawler, sent crawler. All right, next add the data source. The data source is S3. The data is that output, and let me keep it on result because it should crawl everything inside the folder. Right, do not go a step further. All right, if you go a step further, you're going to lose the content. Go a step backward, just pick the folder and click choose. Right, so yeah, I think this is fine. Okay, now click on what? Add S3 data source. It has been added. Click on next. I am row. We created an I am row already, so let's pick the I am row, which was this customer review, and click on next. All right, database. We have to create a new database, a new DB. Let me call it sent DB. All right, create database. Okay, all right, come back to glue, refresh. You should have the database sent DB. All right, click on next, then click on create crawler. All right, so let's pause this process because it's a process we've already gone through. All right, let's pause it, and once it's done, we'll be right back. So we've run the crawler. So once you create the crawler, you have to run it. All right, so let us pause it, and we'll be right back. All right, so this job is completed. It's now completed. Now let's go to databases. So here's database. In database we have the table called results. Now in the table we have this, right? Great. So now let's now go to Athena. I think this should be fine. All right, great guys. Let's go to Athena. Go to yes, Athena. All right, so refresh this. You should have a new record, the results. Then let's now run this against, let's run our query against this table. So preview table. Yes, so this is what I wanted to show us. All right, so the item was not coming up. So when you are crawling your data, don't crawl the file itself, crawl up till the folder level. All right, the folder level, so that it will crawl the contents of the folder. Okay, because if you crawl up to the file level, it's going to crawl the file. There is not, is it take the file as a folder, they do not see anything to display. So these are the content of our data. So we now have our data on Athena, right? So from this data we will be generating a new data. All right, a new set of data that we should call what? The final result. Right, so for that purpose, I'm going to write a new query. I'll add the new query block. I'll now say create a table. All right, let me call that table name sentiment underscore final underscore result. All right, create table as, now let's pick the columns. Select file, comma, line, comma, all right, sentiment, comma. Now I need to create more columns. So as you can see, we only have 4 columns: file, line, sentiment, and sentiment score. All right, so my sentiment score, I need to create different sentiment score for mixed reaction, negative reaction, positive reaction, and neutral reactions. I'll say sentiment score dot mixed. So dot mixed as mixed. All right, comma, sentiment score dot negative as negative, comma, sentiment score dot positive as positive, comma, then sentiment score dot neutral as neutral. All right, from which table? From the results table, semicolon. So let's run this query. So the moment I run this query, we should have something that looks pretty nice. So query was successful. You can see query successful, and a new table was created. Look at the new table, sentiment final result. From here, create table sentiment final result. So it was created. So now let's now preview this table. You can see we now have what? Column file name, the line, the sentiment, the mixed sentiment prediction, the negative prediction, the positive prediction, as well as was the neutral prediction. So this is our final data, guys. This is data that we are going to now inject into what? QuickSight. Right, so this is the data from Athena that we are going to inject. Sorry, this is a wrong flow. Remove this flow, guys. Right, now this data sorry, it's not a wrong flow. Undo, because this data will be written back. The final result is now written back to catalog. Then catalog is going to send that file into what? The QuickSight. So let's look at QuickSight. So you can see we are now good. So these are our final table, sentiments, final result. All right, so the next thing I will do now, I'll now go to duplicate this page. I'll search for what? Amazon QuickSight. QuickSight. So this is the QuickSight for analytics. All right, business analytics. So I'll click on QuickSight. So QuickSight is like a third-party application. It will take you, it always take you out for you to log in and come back into this section. It's because I've already logged in to this section. That's why it is looking very nice. Okay, now the first thing you need to do is click on new analysis. Click on new analysis. On the new analysis, you have to select your data set. Where is your data coming from? New data set. So my data set is coming from what? Athena. Athena already has my data. So click on Athena. Now give it a name. Let me call it sentiment. Right? Sentiment dash review. Right? Now click on what? Create data source. So that's my data source. First, you create a data source as Athena. Now you've created a data source. Now you can now see now it has automatically picked the data source that we have within Athena, which was brought from Glue. All right, you can see we have the AWS data catalog. This is from the Glue. The database there is SentDB. Then the result we're going to use is what? The sentiment final result. Click on what? Select. Now finish dataset creation. So the next thing I'll do now, I'll click on what? Visualize. So the moment I click on visualize, let's see what happens. Click on visualize. Let's see. Now look at, now it's trying to import the data. 0 rows were imported to Spice, 0 rows were, but somehow, okay, click on create. This is fine. Now this is what you have, and these are your columns: file, line, mixed, negative, neutral, positive, then the data source name, sentiment. All right, great. Then this is the different types of charts that we have. We have this autograph. This autograph, it means it will automatically select the type of graph that your data requires. If you place it here, it means that you're using pie charts or bar charts, as the case may be. But let's click it on what? Auto, so that it automatically selects what we want. Then once you select it, once you click there, come here and click on your what? On your data source name, right? Click on this guy. The moment I click on there, it will show us, it will try to show us something here. All right, data source was deleted or became unavailable. Okay, this is not the data source we created. The one we created was sentiment review. Let's go back to our data. This is the wrong data source. Remove it now. Then remove it. Remove. Wait. Add a new data set. New data sets. Wait guys, is available now. Add. Wait, cancel, close. Go back to QuickSight here. This is what we have. Delete first. Delete. Done. New analysis. Analysis from new data sets. Athena. Let me call it sent dash review. That's the data source name. Sent review. Create data source. Final results. Right. Select. Then visualize. It's still picking the old one. Is it picking the old one? Let's go back and change the table name. Let's go back to Athena. Let's change the table name. So the table is this. Sent underscore review underscore results. So that's the table name. Let's run it. So once we run this guy, you should create a new table. A new table has been created. Sent review results. So that's what we want. Not this final. Because I've used this final. Maybe it's catch somewhere. So come to this guy. Let's add a new. Click on QuickSight. New analysis. Delete this. New analysis. Alright. New data sets. Athena. Let's call it sent review. So primary work group. Create data source. Sent review. Then catalog. My table is this table. Sent review results. Select and visualize. Sent review results. Alright. So let's see. Alright, so I think that's been loaded. Great. Now let's pick autograph. Then click on sentiment. The moment we do this, alright, so it will take some time. I don't know if you saw a banner here. There was a banner here. That banner showed that this sentiment failed. Uploading this data from from Athena, it actually failed. It failed because QuickSight does not have the right permission to pull the data, right, from where it is located on the S3 bucket. Now, how do I show us this error? Let's go back here and come to this. Let's open this. Okay, great. It's just showing that this error or became unavailable. Alright, so let's show details. If you open details, it's not showing anything. Okay, it's showing error. So error details. Alright, it's showing error because QuickSight does not have permission on S3 bucket. So we need to grant permission to QuickSight on S3 bucket. So how do we go there? We'll go to click on QuickSight. Then not on QuickSight, sorry. You come to your account name. Alright, and click on what? Manage QuickSight. Alright, so here now you come to what? Security and permissions. Now you can see now access granted to 4 services. These are services that QuickSight has access to by default. So I'm going to add more services. Click on manage service. So the moment I click on manage service, I'm going to include S3. Select S3. Now in S3, I will select all the tables. That's all the all the bucket that we are using. So I'm using these 2 buckets. Give them access. Give it access. So at this junction now, QuickSight have access on these databases. On these buckets. Click on finish. Now we selected what? 5 buckets, and we've given access to 2. Click on save. So the moment we do this, alright, come back to QuickSight, then go to your review. Click on your review, and you can see now the first import failed. We're going to refresh this page now. The first one we did fail. This is a general SQL error. Alright, so let's try to show this guy. Close. Let's try to refresh, or we can add another another graph. Click on auto, and click on what? Your data source name, sentiment. It's still showing us this. Why? It takes some time, guys. It will sync. Just wait. It will sync. Oh, let's go and recreate. Let's go and recreate what's it called? Let's go and recreate the data source. But our result is here. Result is in. Okay, I think it's up. It's coming up. Oh no. Refresh. There should be refresh, guys. Delete sentiments. Let's go somewhere. QuickSight. It takes some time to sync. Or let me go back to, should I know? I've given it access. Come here, manage QuickSight. We have access. S3 is there. Alright. S3 is already there, which is this bucket. Alright. Oh, sorry, Athena. I think this guy gets created automatically. Alright. So let's put on Athena result bucket. So give QuickSight access on this bucket. Athena results BKT. Okay. Yeah. And it's just access that's causing that challenge. Okay, let's use this too, because QuickSight need to have access to the results. You can see the results at AWS Athena query results. Alright. Yes. Click on finish, and click on save. I think we should be fine now, guys. Should be fine. And yeah, the results are in. Go to QuickSight. Click on your sentiment review. Let's see. This should populate. It should populate, guys. It should populate. You're still having error. It should populate. Take some time. Can't I refresh? All right. Let's do something. Let me remove it. Remove, and let's re-add it. Let's re-add. New analysis. New analysis. New data sets from Athena. Let me call it sent review. Alright. Create data source. It's getting created. Yeah, sent DB. Here's my results. Review results and select. Alright. Good. Visualize. Alright. Visualize, and importing data is taking time. It's taking time. Alright, can see. So this number of data was imported. Import complete. 100% success. 4,916 rows were imported to Spice. 0 rows were skipped. Alright. So let's I need to see the other parts of my data. Okay, which is this data sets. So that's my data set. Click on data sets. All right. So this is where you click to put it on and put it off, on and off. So click on your sentiments. All right. Click on sentiments. So automatically it's going to populate this. That's giving us a graph. All right. So this graph we have is a normal bar chart. So this is normal bar chart. So our challenge was just permission. All right. Permission, because you needed to grant QuickSight permission on the Athena S3 bucket. So Athena created an S3 bucket, a bucket on S3. So we go to S3 now, go to buckets. You see this bucket, Athena results BKT. All right. So QuickSight needed access to this bucket because this is where the results are. So this is where the results are. That's Athena. So anything Athena does, it pushes it into this bucket, this folder. You can see all the query you run against your data are being pushed here. Okay, so are being pushed here. So therefore QuickSight need access to these buckets so that it will be able to read and write from the bucket. All right, so let's go back to our results. So our results are in. So you can see from what we have so far, from our analysis, you will come to see that we have more positive results. Right. The count of positive counts are 4,015. Neutral counts are 117. Negative we are 441, and mixed reaction were 287. Right. So quickly we can change the chart type. Let's use pie chart. Sorry. If we look at pie charts now, let's look at the analysis now. Now, 82% of the reviews. What this thing means is now, what this graph means that 82% of these reviews, before I go there, look at the sentiments, which is the legend. Sky blue is positive, native blue is navy blue is neutral, orange is negative, green is mixed, and the rest are null. All right. Now let's come now. Now 82% of the reviews were positive. That's what this result means. Then just 3% of the total review were just neutral. The 9% were negative, and finally 6% were what? Were mixed reactions, mixed reviews. They are either here or there. Negative, they were saying that this product is bad, don't go for it. All right. Neutral, they couldn't say anything. All right. Then positive, so we had more positive results. So it means that from this analysis, the conclusion would be our product is actually doing fine, but we still need to work further. We still need to look at the negative reviews. Negative reviews were 9. All right, let's see how we can get those reviews, work on them, so that we will have a close to perfect result, right? A close to perfect result. So far so good, guys. You've seen the entire journey. All right, you've seen the entire journey, how we have been able, all right, to analyze customer reviews on our products using the entire AWS AI and data engineering stack. All right, AI and data engineering stack. So this is it. This is the story, guys, and this is where Frank Teaches DevOps is transitioning into. All right, so I thought it's wise I make this video so that my fans man will start thinking in the direction of data engineering as well as machine learning operations. All right, that being said, I want to bring today's session to a close. All right, I want to bring today's session to a close. Like I rightly mentioned, in my next video I will be talking about AWS machine learning stack. Until then, I would love to say bye bye and have a wonderful Friday. Obviously it is Friday, and thank God it is Friday. Thank you, and see you in our next episode.